kits now. I tell you what, that would probably sell. I mean, knowing the mental state of much of society, I mean, sell what you got, man. You can get a little shrunken head. Plus, here it's October. Welcome everybody. We're live. It's October. What an auspicious time to sell, your wacky stuff, on Amazon or on whatever website. Welcome everybody to our Success Mastermind. It is Fun Friday, October 2nd, 2020. John Lavenia here with you. Excited to be here with you, all of you. Look at these beautiful people. And I do have to give a shout out to Ego, who is back with us here after major surgery. Welcome back, my friend. You look brilliant. Well, you're always brilliant, whether you look it or not. Other people I can't say that about on here. All right, we look at that guy David. I mean, he doesn't look like much, but he's a good guy. Good to see you, brother. It's Fun Friday. Who's got a dog or a joke or something? Actually, I got a couple of jokes for you. I was browsing through this website just before we got on here, looking at is there any marketing jokes that are actually funny? And this is one that I think, again, is appropriate for October. What is the safest place to hide a body? The second page of Google. And I know we've got a lot of Amazon sellers here. Maybe the second page of Amazon, fill in the blank with whatever platform. But anybody else got something to
okay, I've got a silly joke.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I mean, you might have been told before on this platform, I don't know. So yes, the other day I went with my son to the zoo and can't believe it. There was just this dog just sitting there looking at me. It was a shih tzu.
Oh, that's great. What do you call a cross between a shih tzu and a bulldog? Bullshit. Yeah. So, anybody else today? Some cats, dogs? What do we got? Somebody come out here.
I've got
Actually, I got that. Yeah, go ahead, Star.
Sleeping cat. Sleeping cat.
Oh, I have an annoying cat. Won't stop rubbing on me.
Oh, okay. Well, cats do what they're gonna do, right? They're kind of like self-directed.
She's a wanty cat, not a needy cat, a wanty cat.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've had some dogs like that. We've had some Velcro dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife and I have done animal rescue on and off for a long time. And at one point when we were living in Tucson, Arizona, we had a greyhound rescue that we were supporting. And so we would foster, the greyhounds sometimes. Because, I guess there's a public service announcement now, but there's thousands and thousands of these dogs killed per year. They race, and their prime is about 1.5 to 2.5 years old, and then that's it. They're retired, and by retired I mean put down. So brilliant. I shouldn't say brilliant. Beautiful dogs. Dumb as a box of rocks, but beautiful dogs. And they tend to be a bit clingy. They're like, oh, person, oh, people. But they don't know a damn thing. Like when you get them off, from off the track, all they know is chase the rabbit, and other greyhounds, and I guess their trainer, right? So that's their whole world. So like sliding glass door, right, which is very popular for patio doors, right? They walk right into it. They don't know what glass is. Well, we adopted our greyhound. We named him Pharaoh. Okay, we had Pharaoh for 13 years. He was a big one too, big, majestic looking greyhound. And he walked into the swimming pool, like water, what, pool? Just walked right in, sunk to the bottom. My wife had to jump in and save him.
Oh my God.
So like they don't know a damn thing. But you see a rabbit. Oh my goodness, rabbit doesn't have a chance. Have you ever seen a greyhound in flight? They're the second fastest land animal on the planet, second only to the cheetah. They run 45 miles an hour. They will kill a rabbit so fast, unbelievable to see a greyhound take flight. But the rest of the time,
a dog.
There you go. She, I've got her well trained. She's been listening to your every word.
Oh,
that's Bella. Finally, you share your animal with us.
Well, she takes a long time to come to the screen sometimes, so she usually misses it. But Bella's a rescue dog. She's the most sweet dog I've ever had. I think she's a great rescue dog and a wonderful companion.
Is she a corgi?
I think she's a cross. I think between a boxer and a beagle or something like that. So you can't really see her properly, but she's about sort of She's not that small.
What a sweetie. And this whole time, I thought you were all alone down there in Grand
Yeah, I've got my
Canyon.
little dog. I've got my little
Right.
rescue dog. Yeah, she's so
great.
sweet.
Oh,
There we go. There we go, Bella. It's Bella.
Fantastic. Well, I'm anybody else before we get into some ideas today?
David's got a joke.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, it's not so much a joke. It's a little song for you. One that Billy Connolly used to sing. So you can imagine Billy
Yeah.
Connolly might be a little bit. So I hope it doesn't cause any offense. Right, it goes like this. My old lady had a fall last week. She broke one breast, got another made of teak. She's all right now, but just how can I? Wouldn't it be lovely?
Thank you, and thank you to Billy Connolly.
Billy Connolly, yeah.
Dave, have you ever seen the movie The Imposters with Billy Connolly, Oliver Platt? Oh my goodness, who was the other guy that played in that? Starts with an S. Italian guy, short Italian guy. Where these two guys are stowaways on a ship, and they're like struggling actors. No, anyone ever seen that movie? One of my favorite comedies of all time. Yeah, it was in the budget rack, 15 years ago or whatever. But The Imposters with
I shall look that up.
Oliver Platt, Billy
shall.
I love
Connolly.
Oliver Platt.
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci, it says here.
Stanley Tucci, that's the guy. Stan
love
Tucci, little Italian guy. Speaking of Italian guys, speaking of a little Italian guys, myself, I went to. I know some of you were on the Networking Magic. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, you need a membership. Go to jlsuccessmastermind.com. Do it now. Get a membership while it's almost free. In fact, you do get 2 free weeks. But we are having a blast this week. What a week it's been. Where was it? Networking Magic. We were talking about raw enthusiasm for the purpose of giving a review or testimony or some product experience. I just had a breakthrough with the widget, the diet pill, the opportunity, the whatever the product or service is. And I mentioned just spontaneously, I shared my enthusiasm about an Italian restaurant here in the East Valley. They got actually 3 locations. This guy from Vito came from Brooklyn and set up shop here in the Phoenix area. And Brooklyn V's pizza, oh my goodness, it is exactly what I remember growing up on the streets of New Jersey and New York City and all this. And I was there last night. And now that I'm back in the gym, and I know some people are still, experiencing lockdown or practicing, the lockdown sort of conditions, but I'm back in the gym. You just got to put your mask on and to comply with local regulations. But I figure, you know what? I'm working out again. I feel good. I'm going to have a calzone. Anybody know what a calzone is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum.
And it was
yum.
Perfection.
Oh,
Perfection.
you're making me
like,
hungry.
It was disgusting. I ate like a slob. And then I went to the gym again this morning. But I figured I deserved that. And I think, how does that relate to anything that's going to help you with your business or your life? Well, I will tell you that I came into this conversation today thinking I wanted to talk about gratitude, because I know that with all the stuff going on in the world, I am so grateful to have this forum, my friends, these people, and then some are here with us live, some tune into the recordings, some don't even know they're members yet, they're about to be. Okay, so that's the way I look at it. That I'm grateful for not only this group of people, but my ability to participate in such a way that certainly I intend to uplift and edify and hopefully even entertain in some ways. Not that I'm an entertainer per se, but to bring up the enthusiasm level, the emotion level, the emotional state of people who intend, all of us, right? We intend to be successful in life. We intend to be, do, and have more. We don't show up here, just for, the jokes and the cats and dogs on Friday, right? I mean, that's cool. And it helps us perhaps get in present time. And I think looking at all the problems, all the troubles of the world, the more I can remind myself to just be here now, to just be in present time and look at what is. What is that we're all on the internet. We're fed. We got a roof over our heads, right? I attended a lecture with one of the best orators I'd ever worked with. His name Doug Weed. He was an advisor to presidents, and at one point he was a big shot in the network marketing space, and he's done a lot of consulting. And his style is very colloquial, very conversational, and completely not polished at all, which kind of relates to what we were talking about Wednesday night with Glenn, with raw enthusiasm, and you deliver a testimony like from the heart, right? Don't friggin' script this. We don't want your script, right? Raw enthusiasm. And so that's how this guy sort of presents. But he told me a story about growing up during the bomb raid kind of sirens, kids getting under the desk of their school, right? Here's the school boys and girls getting under the desk because here's the drill, right? The air raid drill that's going on. Some of you remember this, and he got to do some work with this guy from the other side of the world, in this case Russia, former Soviet Union, growing up under communist rule, and who had come to free countries like America and set up camp and embracing business and capitalism, became very successful. And he said, yeah, we're about the same age. We were doing the same thing. So you guys were hiding under the desks because the Russians might be sending bombs. We were hiding under the desk because the Americans might be sending bombs. And here we are doing business, right? Does anybody really hate some person over there, somebody's uncle in Russia or China, or fill in the blank? It's people. It's just people. And one of the things that we have in common, which again I'm grateful for, when we can look at commonalities and leverage the the positive relationships that we're able to create, is that we all, if we're sane, I would say, we're all looking to be, do, and have more. We're all looking to survive more comfortably, more readily, and provide benefit into whatever sphere of influence we have, whether that's our village, our tribe, our million people on our email marketing list, or whatever, right? We're looking to be of service in some way. Now, there are a lot of insane people too who don't quite get that, and I would say focus only on differences. Certainly there's a use for differentiation in marketing and sales and business and families, right? I don't want to mirror, right? I'm not good at everything. So yes, that variety or that diversity is obviously essential as well. But I think in my case, where my mind is going today is my gratitude for being in conversation, in communion with, in fellowship with people who have a common purpose. In fact, that's part of our pay, right? We get paid at a job, perhaps at a business, right? Financially, money, right? Currency. That's one sort of current, would be money, right? And if you want more to come in, you got to send more value out, right? So the current's just like the tide, right? You can't get without giving. There's nothing for free. Well, it's the same sort of thing in terms of like people showing up at a job every day. I know we were just hearing from Star, right? Star's got work that she does, that she deals with other people every day, hopefully in a cooperative way, in some cases in a cooperative way. Ivier, same story. I know we've heard from you. You've had major advancements with your work, with your conventional work, your job, your employment, in addition to your business life, right? So you've got multiple things going on. One could be right now paying the bills, keeping the lights on, and the other is looking more long range. But part of the pay for even showing up is that you get to have cooperative and positive experiences with people who are also driving towards a common goal. This is enormous. And I don't think I express my gratitude for it enough. I was thinking about that today because, again, looking at all the problems, which we can look at, mass media is happy to shove them down your throat, whether you like it or not, and twist it in such a way to make sure people are separate and divided. That's part of the plan, by the way, right? That's part of the plan. Not my plan, okay? But if you look, you'll see it. It's pretty obvious at this point. It's not even covert. But can we see where we do have commonality? We do have all the same or similar intent to be, do, and have more. Otherwise, you wouldn't be surviving, right? I guess you'd just be on the downward spiral, You know, there are people who have gone, you know, lost the will to live and whatever. I mean, that's pretty dark. This is a fun Friday. We're not going to get too dark with all this. But when people don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, when they don't see at least hope, right, that there can be a better future, they tend to become apathetic. Why bother trying? There's no use, right? That's not a conversation we have here. And my intent is that's never a conversation that runs through your mind. Never, 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 never. Because we have evidence. Oh my goodness, we have evidence of people advancing in their life and who are, despite the fact that you may even be business competitors, but we have camaraderie in the way that we want each other to win. And I've surveyed a few people over the last week, and I wanted to get to everyone. Of course, that's completely unrealistic, but I wanted to get to everyone this week, everyone who is an active, bona fide member of this group, and find out why are you an active, bona fide member of this group? Why? And the few people I got to, there's one thing in common. There's one thing in common with all of them, and that is the community and the authentic, I want to say caring, although that sounds a bit fluffy, the authentic resonance, that commonality of purpose, that cooperation, that love, yes, that love that exists among on-purpose people. On-purpose people. We can't have that without a purpose, right? And even though our purposes may take many different shapes and go in many different directions, which is awesome, that's the diversity, that's cool, okay, there's still the intent behind it all. To be empowered, and yes, to empower others. Napoleon Hill, in his classic book, Think and Grow Rich, which we're in the middle of reading right now, we're going to be reviewing chapter 5, Specialized Knowledge, on Monday, so tune into that. But and be reading that now, of course. But one of the things he says is that great power can be accumulated no other way, except through the power of the mastermind. Without the mastermind principle, you're all alone. You can't become powerful. You can't. That opportunity has to come through and with others. Can't do it alone. Now, success, yes, of course, that's an individual consideration and an individual pursuit. Yeah, you're going to work your ass off if that's what it takes in whatever field and whatever endeavor you're in. Yeah, you're going to have to learn stuff. Yeah, you're going to have to develop a backbone and thick skin and self-reliance and responsibility, the R word that so many people shy away from. Sure, that's an individual integrity consideration. Okay. But just like Steve Covey talked about in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, you've got 3 tiers here. If we can break this down into tiers of dependence or effectiveness, we've got dependent, right? Like you can't. Then we've got independent, you can, right? And then there's interdependent. We can blow the friggin' lid off this thing. We can. I can't, right? I mean, I can do what I can do. But what we can do, oh, now we're talking, right? But you can't have a powerful group without powerful individuals. So, and again, you can look around society and you can see, here's a group of dependents. Are they effective? Of course not. Of course not. Here's a group of independent people who are now interdependent, leveraging each other's strengths to create a synergistic, way beyond, the statistics, right? So you can create so much more, right? So now we're into synergy. That's what I experience here. And I am so grateful for it. And the fact that I get to be a voice, I got to be grateful for that too. In fact, I'm every day in my meditation, I have a little affirmation that reminds me of what's actually happening here. So thank you. And I'm thinking now that, with that acknowledgement of, oh my goodness, we got something pretty special here. With that, that freedom and that control and that increase in reward also comes an increase in responsibility. How can I be a good steward of that? How can I, and this is the question that goes through my mind every day, how can I help you get what you want? That's it, right? Success in your e-commerce business. Great. We got that on the calendar. That's fantastic. Ego, who I mentioned before, right after having an operation, was doing a tech talk at 4:00 in the morning, my time, right, to help people with their e-commerce tech or their business tech. And then we've got Mondays with Stuart. We've got Wednesdays with Glenn, right, on more of the being the communicator, a networker, right, expanding your reach into the marketplace. We've got life and business tools. right? With brilliant people like Adrian. I know he doesn't look like much, but man, that guy's got it together. I love that joke. I use it all the time. We've got yoga, we've got group meditation, we've got integrative nutrition today. Brand builder last night was Shannon. Those of you who didn't catch that, she talked about video, increasing your sales with video. You know, just a couple of examples and ideas that she shared can make you a lot of money if you use this stuff, right? So what I'm thinking is, because people value what they're grateful for, or they in many cases what they've paid for, right? I was going through our roster and our archive of recordings, and I was like, my goodness, this is a $10,000 course already. We've only been doing this like 2 months, and it's October. How auspicious! Good things happen in October. My daughter was born in October. Halloween, everyone's favorite, right, is in October. Star, right? So Star was waving her hand for some reason. Star, were you born in October?
No, my daughter.
Oh, Elvie, right. Elvie was
Birthday's
born in
on
October.
Sunday. Yes.
Yeah, what an auspicious month, right? I have major breakthroughs in Octobers. October is one of my favorite months. Does that mean there's something like truly intrinsically special about October? Or is it something I made up? Well, either way, let's say I just made it up. Fine. Okay, let's run with it then. So what I did yesterday, and here's where I'm going with this, and I'm going to shut up pretty soon, I promise. I said, oh my goodness, it's October 1st. If you're seeing this in Australia, it's already October 3rd when you're going to see this. Right now, it's the 2nd here. But oh my goodness, it's October 1st. What can I get done today? Because this is it. This is my favorite month for production. I love October production. And I started doing stuff. I started moving faster. And I went to the gym and I was like, yeah, my endorphins are up. All right, what else can I get done today? And I started working on stuff. And then my phone rang. Oh my goodness, my phone rang. John, we got a business deal over here. We need you to take a look at. We're looking to get this thing up to about $500,000 a month within 90 days. Can you take a look at this? We want you to head up the project. Yeah. October 1st. Okay. So whether this is just a story in my head, which is a good story that I just made up, okay, about how great October is. Actually, I made it up years ago. September is pretty good too. In fact, November, nice. Okay. But October, okay, I'm going to work with what I got. All right. I'm going to work with what I got. It's October and I believe it's great. And it started being great. It started being great. So my intent or my belief, erroneous or true or whatever, does come to pass. And that's something else I can be grateful for, that I'm actually creating opportunities in my life based on my own emotional state and expectation. Now, I know we talked about this, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Expectation, that was sort of the theme of the week. Well, I looked back a month because we have this beautiful archive. You can go back in the archive, general session recordings, right? And you can see that it was the last session of August where the topic was, what can you accomplish in the next 90 days? You guys remember that? I know some of you took that to heart. Some of you are like, all right, 90 days, game on. I just did that again. I just hit the reset button yesterday with October. What can I accomplish in the next 31 days? I got October. I got 31 days worth of it. Now, we could look back and we could say, and for those of you who haven't seen that broadcast, go watch the recording. But we can look back and say, okay, great. So just over 30 of those, right? So we had all of September since that broadcast happened. So we have a consideration about 90 days, 30 down. What did you do in the last 30? Because now I'm saying I expect October, this next 30, to be spectacular. Okay. But what happened in September? And can we acknowledge that? Because you did accomplish something. I certainly hope you did, right? And if you're not recognizing something, then you're lacking gratitude because you're still here. You must have accomplished something, right? You wouldn't keep showing up in your business and in these talks and in your life if you weren't getting something out of it. What are you getting out of this? Your business, your efforts, whatever you did in September. I want you to take inventory and make, this may sound cliche if you've been around self-help for a while or whatever, make a gratitude list. But not just a gratitude of, hey, I'm grateful for my family and, my house, my food and, my abilities. That's all good. But I'm grateful that I did all these things that are on the done list now. Done, right? I did it. And start to acknowledge yourself to a higher level that you are a productive person. Because some of us I know are reading another book, Psycho-Cybernetics. And I got an email from one of our esteemed members today about a certain aspect of that book concerning forgiveness. Well, one of the most important people that I had to forgive was myself. Again, this may sound cliche if you've been around motivational speeches and stuff like I've been for 35 years, but people talk about letting go of the past, right? Which is what forgiveness is. Well, whose past do I have to let go of? I can't let go of yours. There's only one person who I can have an effect with, right? Back to the idea of independence, right? For me to be of service to you, for us to have interdependence and synergy, I must take responsibility. I have always had it. So I must accept responsibility for letting go of my own past, forgiving myself for having blundered, sinned, missing the mark, fill in the blank. I don't care what the word is, right? Non-optimal acts of commission or omission, right? I did it. I didn't do it, right? Okay, well, what's one of the things that I can start to do right now to revalidate myself, because I'm responsible for my emotional state, right? Well, I can look at all the things I did right in September. I did it. I did it. In my case, it was moving and unpacking it. And oh my goodness. So there was a couple of weeks worth of that, because I don't like incomplete stuff, right? So we move means we move, which means we not only pack up the stuff and move, we also unpack. We have a garage that we can actually park in. It's not just a pile of crap, right? We can park the car in the garage. That's when you know you're done moving, when you can park the car in the garage, as they say on the other side of the pond, right? So I like to get stuff done. I don't multitask, right? So I was focused on getting my family moved. I got that done. That's good. Did it make me any money? Arguably, no. Although, you know what? There's some really cool things that I've discovered about the new area that I live in that I think are going to be ways to economize and not blow money on stuff that I don't need to spend on. Not that it's all about frugality or whatever, although I'm pretty frugal, which I think is an attribute, right? Other marketers will tell you, no, spend all the money. It's a never ending gravy train. Now, hold on a second. I'm 50 years old, right? I'm a little bit more mature than that now. You guys know at one point I had 5 cars, right? Story for another time. That's called stupid, by the way. Don't do that. But but I'm thinking, what are all the things that I did right? So if you would, please, today, because we're already 2 days into October, revisit the idea of the 90-day accomplishment or 30 days or fill in the blank. It's not my rules. It's whatever you want to do. It's your plan. But then also go back 30 days and say, here's all the stuff I got done. Validate yourself. Done. Okay. Make and put that down like on a list, like it's a gratitude list. But again, it's not just gratitude for things that have befallen you because you're so fortunate, and you are. That's cool. But now we're expressing gratitude to ourselves for being the high integrity people we are. So we can actually say it's an integrity list. I talk about this in the 2nd chapter of my first book. So along with a gratitude list, there's an integrity list. We can do that on a day-to-day basis, by the way. Okay. It's just part of a journaling experience where you could say, here's all the stuff I didn't screw up today. And to show that, yes, we did high integrity stuff. You want good self-esteem? Do esteemable things, right? Validate yourself, right? I walked down the hallway and I didn't, right? Yeah, I see a star holding up her can, right? So you got a wins can, right? So to speak, a jar in this case, glass jar. And so you've got the, I ate breakfast and I didn't choke to death. Okay, fine. I mean, if you start at the bare basic kind of stuff, that's fine. But then it's going to grow and you're going to think, wow, I got that product listed, or I got that sourcing done, or I got the new business started, right? And then looking at that, taking inventory and seeing what you actually got done. Here's the next part of the formula, and then I really am going to shut up. The next part of the formula is short-term, long-term. So I think short-term in terms of immediate, getting stuff done. Here's 30 days. Okay, so that's good. And it's good to plan out a week, at least a week, right? At least a week to 30 days. Otherwise, it's day-by-day crisis management, right? You're stuck in the thick of thin things. Okay, so thinking short terms, here's the stuff that I'm going to get done this month, in this terribly auspicious month of October, John's favorite month, when Trinity was born, LV was born, and business breakthroughs happen. Holy crap, it's upon us. Okay, so I'm going to maximize this month. You can do this again next month, by the way. Again, I just made up the story about October. All right, there's nothing on the calendar that says, John, this should be your favorite month. So then, but then long term, where are we going to be 5 to 10 years from now? And I know this is a consideration, especially our younger members, of which there are few. we need to have some 20-year-olds joining us here. We need to expand our ranks. Okay. So this is, and I don't say younger, I'm looking at some very young at heart people right now. Okay. So I just mean in terms of actual calendar years, we've got more people beyond 40, let's say, than we have prior to 40. I'm one of them. All right. But the youth, or the consideration of youth, regardless of what your calendar age says, the consideration can, and I think should be, where am I going to be 10 years from now? Where am I going to be 10 years from now, or 5, right? Fill in the blank with some longer term thing. So we're looking at what we accomplished. We're looking at what we will accomplish, that we're making a demand upon ourselves for the month of October. And then we're also looking at the long range. And what does that do for us? That gives us short-term things we can do that will keep the lights on, keep business going, and whatever you got to do. Like we already said, a couple of our friends here are working, an employment, a job, and having advancements with that. Fine. That's great. But in addition to that, what are you building now that will pay you, maybe not exactly today, but 5 years, 10 years from now, you will have accrued an asset, right? So I'm not telling you to multitask. I'm telling you to diversify a bit and to put attention here and attention there, because you've got this attention that you could spend however you want. I'm saying some of it should be spent on things that we could call deferred gratification opportunities. So we've got immediate gratification. I go to the job, I get paid. Fine. Deferred gratification, if not now, then when? I mean, you got to start building an asset. You got to do something, right? Because October is going to happen 5, 10 more times, and you're going to be here for it. Assuming you are, right? I don't have a crystal ball, but we're going to act as if we are going to be, right? I don't know, a spaceship, could crash into my house right now. Who knows? Something could happen. I get abducted by aliens. I don't know, but I'm going to plan for being here 10 years from now. And am I going to be still doing that employment, that short-term thing that's keeping the lights on now? Maybe, maybe not. I guess it depends on, is that really part of your passion and your purpose? Okay, great. Do that. Hey, here's an idea. Can you do that as a volunteer because you don't need to earn money anymore because you got so much, capital gains going on over here, passive income, right? Like Kiyosaki talks about, right? There's earned income, there's capital gains. Capital gains is taxed differently. That's the methods of the rich. Well, how quickly can I transition into that, right? I'll still work. Yeah, I love my work. Of course, still work, right? What is work? On purpose action. What am I going to do? Just have no purpose? No, that sucks. I'm going to work, all right? Not because I need the money to pay my bills. Okay, just because I'm on purpose. So back to my original point, we're all on purpose people, or you wouldn't be in this conversation. I acknowledge you for that. I'm grateful for you for that. You're among the finest people on the planet that I can think of. If you're in this conversation, I know that. And there's a lot of people that deserve to be, because they're also the finest people on this planet. They just don't even know we exist. We do have an affiliate program, by the way. So if you want to sign up for that, feel free and, refer a friend or whatever. But without this group, it would just be me as an island out there doing whatever I do and having an effect. But here we get to have a bigger one. So my request for you is, please make a spectacle of yourself in October. Please do that. And then validate that, because others will invalidate that. As soon as there's a performer, there's a critic. And I know you've got critics in your life. I know you've got people that you deserve to also let go of the past, which may have been 5 minutes ago when they were giving you shit about you reaching higher than the mediocre masses. And who are you to do that, right? Let's release them. Let's let go of that completely, right? And let's just go ahead and redouble the evidence that we can then put in the face of people who are willing to look and pull themselves up by their bootstraps, because now they saw your example and now they've got hope. They're no longer apathetic. I wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for people like that who showed up in my life. Really, for real. Like if there was no light at the end of the tunnel, I was almost dead at the age of 15. Okay, so can you be an example in someone else's life? It's not going to happen by you groaning about what you didn't get done or having no plan and no purpose. So I think, if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? You are so able. You are so effing able. Please go demonstrate that. demonstrate that. The whole world's watching, whether you know it or not. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for letting me throw up in your ear. Uh, what do you think, David? And we're going to go to Mark and then Carlene and then Sonia. Dave, you got an idea?
Oh, me? Oh, sorry. No, I was just chuckling at your last comment.
All right.
Going
I
up
love
and-
you, man. You're a beautiful guy, and we're going to get stuff done this month. We're going to get stuff done.
Yes, definitely. Oh, by the way, yeah, my birthday's in October as well.
Well, there it is. Now I know why it's my favorite month. See,
Yeah.
I was no longer in a state of mystery. This is fantastic. Mark, what say you, sir? Mark Riggle.
Hey, John, I don't know if I can do this quite as good as Reverend Henderson, but speak to me, brother. So, hey, you are speaking to me this morning. I will be talking to you later today. You can look at for a couple messages. Tomorrow will be an interesting day for me, a very positive one. And I think the point of gratitude that I want to make in this moment is, and to profess it, is my gratitude to those that have decided to trust me to the point to participate with me and give some sort of movement forward in with like minds to do something together and to make it work for both of us. So I think that's such a big deal. It's this whole thing about, when people get to the point that they trust you, then they'll do business with you, or they'll, buy from you and that sort of thing. I'm really feeling that. And it's taken me some time. I'm feeling much more comfortable in these scenarios, these events. So thank you. And really, I hate to keep acting like, I'm in your backside, but this 6 months that I've been along here, John, this has been such it's not a win for me. This is a miracle for me, for where my head's at. And I'm just going to leave it like that, because that's just, I don't know what else to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. You know what? I've experienced transformation, and sometimes I'd never even expected it. So I am so grateful for you and this whole group. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Carlene and then Sonia. Hey, Carlene.
I'm just going to piggyback off what Mark said, because it's literally what I was about to say as well. I don't trust people. And that comes from my West Indian heritage. Like, we are very, we regarded. So to even meet people that you've never met before and be yourself, or just say things that you won't even say to maybe your family, that is something that I'm still trying to figure out, like, if it's real, because it's like, did I really say that to a bunch of people I've never met? And you can't even, it's like stepping outside of your comfort zone and your bubble and being vulnerable. There's no words for it. But anyway, why I put my hand up is to give a big shout out to Bill, because this week I've been having some issues. Long story short, I've been searching for a car. 2 months searching for a car. I find a car, and not only were the dealership very dodgy, the car was actually not even safe for the road, and they didn't say anything to us. So we were driving around in a car that was a ticking time bomb. So we had to return the car to the dealership, and then it became a nightmare to get our money back and to sort everything out. And it was just like, you think, oh, I've put in all this work and I thought I'm home free, but now you have a hurdle. And then trying to have to deal with the whole, getting the process rectified. And they had like no sympathy, no empathy, and just the unprofessional way they did business. I had to then take all the lessons from that and say to myself, if I want to become a business owner and I want to jump quadrants, I'm actually learning how not to do business. They were teaching me valuable lessons in how to make sure your customers are treated fairly and properly. Like, you keep saying integrity is everything, and I cannot stress this enough. Integrity is everything. And funny enough, Bill, actually, I was able to reach out to Bill, and he was able to help me. And I was able to come back up, because I started to feel so demotivated. Like, what's the point in even trying to be the bigger person? I want to just go into the old Colleen, which was run up on them and act a whole fool at the dealership, But I'm like, nope, that's not me anymore. I'm not going to turn into like, just let my emotions overpower me. I'm going to become more, what's the word for it? Just become a little bit more understanding, because I thought they don't even deserve my understanding at this point in time. I felt like if everything, they deserve the wrath of God. But then I had to stop and say, what would you do if you're a business owner and how you're dealing with your customers? You want to still be able to at least add value to them. So every interaction, I was polite. And I said, I have every right to turn this into a legal nightmare for you guys. But at the same time, I'm not going to waste my energy and feed this negativity. I can't do that, because I'm rolling with a group of people now who are reminding me every single day I sit on these calls to continue to like aim higher, push through, not let the ugliness of the world overcome you, not let the ugliness of the world turn you, because I swear to God, like when it comes to my daughter, I'm writing in a car that was going to basically turn into a bomb. And you did not even say anything. And not only did you not even say anything, but when we brought it to your attention, you were so nonchalant about it. It was like, do you think that my family's life doesn't matter? So that turned me into a mama bear. But at the same time, I said, you know what? I'm actually trying to become a more positive person. And Bill McDonald, thank you very much, because he was able to at least speak to me, and I'm able to resolve the whole thing. So I'm not going to take too much time. I just want to say you guys are amazing, and I'll keep you posted on what happens. Okay. So wait for the next episode of this.
I remember it was one of the American presidents said to speak softly, but carry a big stick. So that's just being conscious of what part of this am I responsible for? How am I going to occur as an authority that I'm going to get what I want now, right? I'm going to have the situation go right. Does that mean you need to yell? No, right? So you're being conscious. Look at this consciousness. This is fantastic. I love you. I'm so glad you're here, Carlene. Oh my goodness. Where's Sonia? Let's get Sonia's thoughts on this.
Okay, if you insist.
I insist.
I'm getting more comfortable talking. I remember, I think it was, what's his name? Stuart had said at one point that he shakes and gets nervous whenever he has to voice his opinion, and I'm still there, but it's getting easier. Really resonating today with what you were talking about, from dependent to independent to interdependent. I literally moved 8 hours away from my previous home of 10 years to learn how to become interdependent with friends and family around me, because I believe that I've had gotten as far as I could get in my life on my own, and wanted to surround myself with those people to learn how to become interdependent. And it is bloody uncomfortable. And I left a partner and a city that I enjoyed to do this. And even though it's uncomfortable and it's this huge learning curve, I'm really proud of myself for not letting that uncomfortableness distract my attention from the angle of what I'm here to do and why I'm doing this right now. I love how I'm dealing with this uncomfortableness. I love that this group has become part of that interdependent, and I wasn't expecting that. I honestly wasn't. But it totally has become that's part of my family now, right? And I love seeing your faces every day when I can attend. And Anna, I get to share something with you today too. I get to join part of some of the other members of this family, like Evie and Ego, who have moved forward in their careers and talk about advancement from the results of being in this group. I have an interview on Monday for promotion.
Fantastic. Well done,
So,
Sonia. Very,
very grateful for this group, and everything that everybody brings to this group is just amazing. It's always what you want. It's always what you need to hear. Every time I tune in, it's always what I need to hear. It's amazing how it always works that way. But yeah, I just wanted to really say thank you to everybody, and keep up your own good work. And I'm here to support you as much as you have supported me.
Thank you, Sonia. And that right there is an interdependent statement. I choose to be an asset to whatever group I'm participating in. I am not suckling from it. I'm not a dependent, right? So that's interdependence. You're an asset, you're an asset, you're an asset. Now we can have synergy. That's beautiful. Thank you, my friend.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff. We're going to go to Teresa and then Wayne and then Kim. Hey, Therese, you've got the floor.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to just share this real quick. October has always been one of my favorite months as well. I really enjoy the change of the seasons. Fall in particular because of all the interesting things happening out there in nature. My father actually passed away. It'll be over this weekend in October. It's been 7 years, but I don't know if you can see that picture of us, one of my favorite. And so it's kind of it's a tender month, but I try to get out as much as I can so I can celebrate him, because that's what he would want to be doing, is being outside. So there's that. Thank you for letting me share. And then, of course, this, moving from dependent to independent to interdependent. I feel like, all of our lives have been a journey of that, so to speak. The interdependent part, again, you've heard me say that this part was missing for me. This group was missing from my life for a long time. And I, it's been about 12 or 13 years ago now, chose, had this conversation with someone yesterday. I chose to position myself personally and professionally in situations where I got to be in control of the leaving. That makes sense. And kind of built a wall around myself, right? So my job, like I would travel to every state, drop in on stores. I controlled the relationship somewhat, and then I left. And then I'd go to the next one, then I'd leave. And I always got to control that leaving because I didn't want to, and also in personal relationships, right? I didn't want to feel that someone leaving me, them making the choice to leave me. And that was sort of what it was about. It goes a lot further than that, and there's lots of stuff buried in that. But this group has been so important for me in this process that I've been on of breaking down that wall around myself. And it's so nice because you never leave. You're not leaving. You're here. I can still pop in and leave and come back, and you're still here. And you guys can leave, but I know you'll be here again tomorrow. And I don't know, it just seems to be pretty profound for me. That's what has come up. And one more thing, last night, my sister had invited me to spend a little time with her, which, we've had an interesting relationship. She's my bigger sister and has been in judgment of me for most of, my life. We're night and day. She's very, very conservative, approaches things very differently than I do, and has always been in judgment of how I approached things. And so I didn't tell her about any of this until, I guess it's now been maybe 3 weeks ago that I told her what I was doing. And so we were having a little conversation about the group and some of the things that we talk about. And she said, yeah, she goes, I'm really surprised. She goes, you never stick with anything. I'm surprised you're sticking with this. And I normally I might have reacted and come, out with like blazing guns at her and then left or something like that, leave. And I just smiled at her and I said, well, you should join. I said, you might really grow. You might be able to allow yourself to relax and feel fear and move through some of the things that are going on for you. And I said, I don't know, it's a great group. You should try it. But she just sort of, she got quiet and she didn't really say anything else in response to that. But I've grown so much just in that, how I responded to her. And it felt great to be able to respond to her that way. So thanks, everyone.
Well, thank you. And thank you for being an example, whether, someone, seizes the opportunity or not, I guess is on them. But you, Therese, you've become a good friend here to myself and to the group. And everyone, you can tune in a couple hours. Therese is going to be talking about, is it voodoo? What is the topic?
Right. We'll talk voodoo if you want.
Right.
Actually, I was going to do some specifics, but I decided to continue. We're talking spirituality and career, and we're kind of tying it into a little bit of, I think we're going to tail off of what Mark was chatting about yesterday afternoon or yesterday. And yeah.
Good.
So we have voodoo in there.
Integrative, in this case, spiritual nutrition. So we're going to do that. Let's go to Wayne and then Adrian, Ego, Kim. Wayne, you've got the floor.
Good morning, John. Good morning, everybody. Hey, thanks. Great discussion this morning. Great topic. I just wanted to jump in here and just say that I've, after 6 months of not being directly employed anymore for cash flow, I'm going to be starting on Monday a new short-term role to get a little bit of cash flow going here. And so I won't be as present on the general calls, but I will be here when I can, anytime I can. So yeah, I want to just say thanks to everybody for all your comments and your support and all the great things. And I will be here whenever I can be here, and look forward to continuing learning with everybody here.
Well, thank you, Wayne. And Sunday evenings, of course, you host. Are you going to continue hosting our metaphors for success?
That is my plan, John. You betcha.
Fantastic. Very good. Everybody, we start our week early around here. We start on Sundays with Wayne, who hosts some very insightful conversations. Thank you, brother. Congratulations on your new post, whatever you're doing over there.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's just it's a short-term thing till I can start making enough money doing everything else to keep the cash flowing and the lights on. So it's I've got goals in mind, but yeah, we're going to do good at this too, I think. So
take the money, man. Take the money.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. All right, let's go to Adrian, and then Ego, and then Kim. Hey, Adrian.
Hey, John, I'm going to list a new product on Amazon after hearing your talk today. I'm calling it the John Lavenia shovel. After you almost dug yourself out of calling us all extremely old. But we didn't take it badly. We didn't take it badly at all, John.
No.
But anyway, yeah. I wanted to focus on your comments about the generally auto-suggestion and hope and faith all link up. And I think what we're learning at the moment with Napoleon Hill about auto-suggestion every day, putting into our minds the right food, the right mental food, remembering what our objectives are, and thereby generating this faith that he also mentions. This is just turning out to be, I think, for me, the crux of the whole thing. So yes, looking at the 30 days, looking at the 90 days, that's all very, very helpful. And it does give you a temporary boost. It makes you feel great when you look at the list and say, hey, look what I've done. But to keep that going, that auto-suggestion, which then generates faith, is, for me, absolutely critical. And I know you've mentioned it to us several times, and I appreciate that. So I just wanted to focus on that particular part of your talk. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Adrian. You know, I've gotten so accustomed to seeing you in that exact spot. I'm wondering what's going to happen if I'm even going to recognize you when you you're going to leave that room at some point.
I'll go and sit by a palm tree. I think the Wi-Fi will stretch out there, but
I think we deserve a little palm tree.
Today there's a major rainstorm, so I can't do that today, but I'll definitely do that next week.
Yeah, you guys are getting some tropical storms. I hear that it's not a terribly eventful hurricane season, but yeah, wishing you the best down there with your storms and all this. Whereas we haven't seen rain. I think I saw rain twice this year. My goodness, it's still it's going to be 106 today in Phoenix, 106 degrees. Summer's going to end eventually. All right, let's go to Ego and then Kim, and I think we're going to wrap up with that. Hey, Ego.
Hi everyone. Good to see you. So glad to be back. So the talk today is just a reminder for me why I show up. You know, and when I show up to anything, I show up with everything. You know, so it's just so profound how you've put everything, and it just kind of connects all the dots. You know, I like what Therese said about October being a tender month. It is a tender month for me, but I'm not dwelling on that. I'm also an October baby, so I have celebrations coming up and other, you know, other things coming up that are part of my 60. I had 30, 45, and 65, 90-day plan. So I have news coming. But then, you know, I was just kind of thinking, reflecting on what you said about the interdependencies, right? So, you know, as I said, when I show up to anything, I like to show up with everything that I have. So, you know, we had the session today, and you know, when I started, or on the hour, there was really no one, and I started to address the YouTube people because it was being recorded, right? And then some other people joined. So the intention was just to share anyway. In doing that, and towards the end, there was a particular hurdle that I faced on the e-commerce side that actually caused me to put a lot of things on hold. From the conversations that we had, like the after call, that piece was put in place, and that problem that I had, I didn't give up. I just put it on hold and focused on other things because, the train's moving. I have other goals to meet. That thing was actually solved all in one through the conversations that I had with the after call. I stopped recording and we chatted for another 45 minutes. So clearly, the interdependency is real. Yes, we're independent people and, you can codepend, but it was and it just came so easily. One of the, the members of the group actually mentioned it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the problem this is the hurdle that I've had. So that's solved. So that's a win. And the last few things you said, it just kind of woken me up to the fact that this thing is real. The goals that we set for ourselves, it needs to happen despite anything in the way. And you said, if not you, who? If not now, when? Make a spectacle. The world is watching. The world is watching. And we will make a spectacle of ourselves. Because if not us on this call, who else? And if not now, when? So I thank you, and I thank everyone. You guys are amazing. Amazing doesn't even come close. Like the love, the care. I was messaging with Ivy at 4 a.m. this morning. I woke up to have some water and she's like messaging me, checking up. People are sending me messages. And I'm just blown away. It's genuine. It's real love. It's unbelievable. It's remarkable. So, I really thank you all. And I love you from the bottom, the most inner parts of me, Love you guys.
Thank you, Ego. So glad you're here. So glad you had successful procedure, and you're right back in the saddle. Look at this. There she is, everyone. Ego. She's back. All right, we're gonna wrap up with Kim today, and Kim, you've got the floor.
Wow, Ego, I don't even want to follow after that. You're just so amazing always. And I don't even know where to begin, because I always feel like there's so much richness in this call, and I feel like it's your favorite pizza with all the toppings on it. You know what I mean? And I just don't even know where to start. But I guess what was speaking to me today was the trust. Somebody talked about trust. And what really kind of pulled it together for me was Therese, and she said to feel the fear. And I'm trying not to get emotional because I'm a little emotional today, but I literally, was, I guess, I want to feel the fear to be able to open up to people and to be able to trust people. Because of my background, it's very difficult to trust, and in particular to trust men. And so I guess what I'm really feeling is the ability to do that with this group. I mean, I have been in touch with a couple of men in this group. And last night after one of our calls, Elmer so graciously reached out to me. I was really struggling with the GTIN thing. And when I have a difficult time trying to wrap my mind around something, I get stuck, I get stuck and my mind just spins it. And it's like, oh, okay, well, and I can't seem to push past that. And so he reached out to me and just said, hey, here's my number if you need help. And he just helped me walk through it. And I said, okay, by the time we were done, I said, okay, I've got this. I have a better grasp of it. I'm going to move forward with that. And so I'm trying to tie all this together. I guess I just want to say that, that the trust ties in with the integrity, because when you have those moments of you know, I'm afraid to trust people, and you reach out and you trust, and then you have to hope that they have the integrity to hold that dear to their heart. You know, if you share something intimate or personal with them, you have to hope and believe that they're going to have your best interest at heart, you know, and not step on that. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So anyway, I don't know, I'm just a whole bucket of emotions today. So I want to say that, and I guess I want to talk about the interdependency, because that allowed me to help me to realize that I'm part of this group. And I think one of the things I said to Elmer last night was, I've not felt the support in my life ever have had this much support in my life ever. And it just is amazing to feel that we have this, the synergy, as you say, and the camaraderie and ability to be able to have that integrity and the trust, and to be able to, as Tree said, feel the fear and then push past that fear and move to the next level. So just thank you every one of you for allowing me to be in this group, be part of this group, and helping me to push past the fear and be able to trust. So thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you. So I think you were citing a bit of what Ego and also what Carlene was talking about on the whole integrity and purpose note. Integrity to what, right? That's what comes up for me. Well, to purpose. And so if we can place principles before personalities, now it's not man, woman, black, white, you know, English, Australian, Yank, whatever, right? It's about the purpose. And so I guess that's maybe the theme for all of this is gratitude that we get to be a group of on purpose people. Otherwise, who would we be hanging around with? Nobody, or, you know, off purpose people. And I'll tell you what, you can kill a bunch of time and just go on that downward spiral. And you know what, Kim, people, and I know we're supposed to wrap up now. Oh, Koila's got her hand up. We're going to hear from Koila. People have no idea what they're missing when they don't have this sort of, I'm not saying that this is the one and only way that you could possibly have an interdependent group of people who are supporting you unconditionally and, you know, love and respect you and all that. Lots of people have that who aren't here in this group. There's 7 billion people on the planet. But I think there's a lot of people right now, you know some of them, by the way, who are kind of out in the cold and don't realize that all they got to do is walk through the door and they can get so much more done. And not to mention the emotional pay, right? That's part of how we get paid, right? Is by being in a cooperative experience with others. Thank you, Kim. And don't worry about following Ego. You know, you did just fine on your own. So you're all good.
You know, I just want to speak real quick. You said something about the, I'm not sure how you put it, something to do with the, I guess, the race, if I heard that correctly. And I just want to speak to that because honestly, you know, the home that I grew up in, my dad was very racist. You know, people were, pardon my language, but they were, you know, the N word, they were, you know, so on and so forth, you know, and so not really exposed to any other cultures. Do you know what I mean? Just only knowing that. I'm sorry, I'm so emotional today, but and this has just been a beautiful thing to see that, you know, we could come together, whether we're black, we're white, we're Asian, we're, you know, we're from the United Kingdom, we're wherever, you know, and we can just come together as a cohesive group and be like-minded and in that oneness. And that is just such a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. I'm just
you.
honored to be part of it.
Thank you. All right. Well, before we all start crying, let's hear from Koila. And today is Friday, Koila. So we need answers. Give us answers. What's happening?
Well, I'll give you an answer in a minute.
Okay.
First, I'm going to say, we love you, Kim. You're fine, and you know, it's just fine to have a tear or two. It's not a problem. And Ego, I wish you well love, and I hope you heal well. And my election, I came second, and I did know it was always going to be difficult. Though I have been doing, not been allowing myself to think that, and doing positive thoughts and positive affirmations and etc. But the daughter of the guy who was the councillor stood, and she won. And so it always was going to be difficult, and I did know that. But I'll probably be standing in a year and a bit when there'll be 3 places available. And Heather, who's only 26, is going to have a year and a bit to prove herself. So it's fine. And I'm perfectly happy. And I'm now going to be starting my other job at some point, which was also, I left my last job on Monday, not quite got a start date for my new job, which is going to be caring for people. So that at least is a job that's more up my street and is about helping people. And I'm a big believer in interdependence, and it's the only way to get anything done in politics, in life, in anything. You just, you know, people have to get on. We have to rely upon each other. We have to trust each other as far as is possible. And love to you all.
Thank you, Corla. And you're getting love in the chat. People are acknowledging your willingness to participate, to stand, you know, in an election, to do all this. This is most of us have not done that, right? So well done, and let's accomplish some stuff. Here we go. We got new adventures that are starting right now. So thank you for being here, my friend. So good to see you all the way off the coast of Scotland. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up. We do have a hospitality suite. We've got a couple things on the calendar for today. For our members, we do have Steve's appliance repair. That's not you guys. That's me. I got Steve coming to the house to look at my washing machine. We've got integrative nutrition at 1:30 p.m. here, 4:30 Eastern U.S. time. And then, of course, we wrap up the week at 6 p.m. Eastern. Be heard, especially for our newer members who might be a little bit, quiet here in larger sessions. Feel free to come and I want to listen to you, whatever you want to talk about. So I'll see you guys real soon. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.